Welcome back. It's time for our midweek look at local sports, and for that we turn things over to the hosts of the Tee Up in London and on the Sidelines in Windsor. Here's Brent Lale and Bob Bellacicco.
Well, thanks, Carlisle. And Bob, let's start with the Spits, who
Brent.
started off as one of the top teams in the country, but then they slipped a little bit. What's the Christmas wish for the Windsor Spitfires?
Well, if you ask me, I think they need more offensive firepower. So, trade deadline coming up January 10th, I'm thinking they need to make a move on the front end because they need some spark. When you lose a guy like Ilya Protas, who scored 124 points last year, and then Liam Greentree had 119, plus you lose Noah Morneau with 73 points and Ryan Abraham with 66. I mean, that's a lot of offense to make up for. And, to their credit, Ethan Belchez has stepped up. Jack Nesbitt's doing well. I mean, there are players. Carson Woodall, your defenseman is your leading scorer. That could be a problem, right? Which is not a problem because he's scoring, but at the same time, you want forwards to be doing that kind of thing. So, to me, if I were Bill Bowler, I'm thinking forwards.
Well, and definitely the Knights finishing their chances is what we've heard from them. Associate GM Rob Simpson says they've let some games get away, and as the defending Memorial Cup champions, they're not satisfied being a middle-of-the-pack standing team. So, they're going to be looking to improve their hockey club after the break and at the trade deadline, like you just said, Bob. So either making a trade or shoring up some of their deficiencies.
I'm kind of surprised to see the Knights where they're at. I mean, Windsor took, 3 out of 4 points out of them earlier in December. Usually that doesn't happen. Usually they're a lot tighter. And, I don't know. I expect the Hunters to make some moves as well before the deadline, eh?
For sure. And then we've got Leafs and Wings now. Let's talk with the Leafs. They've kind of a middle-of-the-pack team, and they really, their Christmas wish would definitely be healthy goaltending. Joseph Wall and Anthony Stolars have struggled all year just be on the ice, and that's not good enough in the NHL to lose your starting goalkeeper. So they need to be a little bit better offensively, a little more consistent in the second half, and they just need healthy goaltending. What's the Wings' wish?
Well, here's the beauty of that whole conference, Brent, because, you talk about the Leafs, you're talking here, the Wings, for example, a week ago, they won 2 in a row. They beat the Islanders 3-2. They looked really good, and they vaulted from 6th to 2nd in the conference. And if you look at the standings, I mean, the difference between 2nd and 9th is like a matter of points. So the Leafs could get hot and boom, find themselves right at the top of the conference, and then Leaf Nation will settle down and everything's good, right?
That's the East for you, right? I guess for sure. And then on to the university ranks. Now, Bob, we got Greg Marshall retiring last week at Western, which was huge news in the football world. And the search is still on for a head coach there. He's going to stay on until they end up with a new head coach. And as for Western basketball, hey, they're number 3 in the country ahead of the holiday break. I think it's been more than 2 decades since this team was ranked this highly in the national standings. And they included a huge win over Ottawa, which is a powerhouse in basketball. So a strong group of recruits by Brad Campbell. They're just gelling. And, hey, 10-1 in the OUA West. They'll be one to look out for, and it's something Western basketball fans haven't seen in a long time. What's up with the Lancers?
Well, not bad, eh? That's pretty good. So over here in Windsor, the Lancer women's basketball team's 9-2. They're 9th in the country. And, again, they're making a move. Chantal Vallée's got the right team. She's got a good mix of veterans and rookies on her squad this year. Leah Tate really stepped up before the break, scored 36 points. They took care of Carleton and Ottawa, who are perennial powerhouses in the OUA. So I don't know. I think this team's going to make a lot of moves in the second half and show that this is the real deal for them this season.
Yeah, and there's a couple of other Lancer squads that are doing pretty well, if you could briefly touch on them as well.
Well, yeah, for sure. We got the men's volleyball team. They're 8-2. They lost a couple before the break against Guelph, but I'm telling you, this team, they're hosting nationals this year, so they've got the automatic berth into the national championship, which will be held at the Toldo Lancer Center. But this is a team that doesn't want to go in the back door. They're a good team. They have Marcus Lahis, Chase Bridges, Gustavo Sequeira, the 3 bigs that are back. It's a veteran team. A lot of these players came back because they knew they were hosting nationals, and this is a team that's going to be tough to beat come crunch time, come playoff time. And then if you've ever been to the Toldo Lancer Center, that place rocks. So when it comes to the Nationals, it's going to be like the roof will be blown off. It'll be so good.
And as for the NFL, now we got a lot of Lions and Bills fans in our region. 2 regular season games to go. Hey, the Bills have been a bit inconsistent this year, but for Bills fans, they've probably needed some heart medicine. I think they get down in the first quarter by 2 touchdowns every game. But hey, when you got the best quarterback in the AFC, they can come back and win. Josh Allen's pulled off some miracles. And with the Chiefs and Ravens out of the picture this year, it's wide open for Buffalo, even if they finish as a wild card. Where the Lions, losing Ben Johnson as offensive coordinator, they've seen a little bit of ups and downs, but not out of it yet.
Listen, I still can't believe Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears at the top of the division right now. It's just mind-blowing how that happened. And, it's going to come down to the last week, I think, Detroit and the Bears. I know Detroit beat them earlier in the season, but I'm telling you, I just have this bad feeling about Detroit right now. And, I think that Chicago, if they're rolling, they're going to give it to them, on the last game of the season.
Well, there's some snow on the ground, and it's kind of cold outside, but we can always dream for spring training. The Jays had an amazing season. They captivated the entire country, coming within one run.
That was a great run, eh?
One win or one run of the World Series in extra innings. And the popularity of that team made so much money, and they really just took the country by storm, and it's become a real destination for free agents. They've already locked up Dylan Cease, Tyler Rogers, Cody Ponce, and they should be pretty good again in 2026. The Tigers, they could use some free agents.
Don't count the Tigers out. Come on now.
Sure.
I mean, we love the Blue Jays because we're Canadian and all, but I live like a mile away from Comerica Park, and the Tigers, hey, let's face it, 15th inning against Seattle, the team, that went to the divisional final against Toronto. So, I mean, they're right there, but the key is, are they going to sign Tarek Skubal? You got to get that Skubal thing out of the way, I think, before spring training or at sometime next season. They picked up a couple pitchers in the offseason. Nothing to write home to mom about, but at the same time, I think the Tigers will be there again in 2026.
Well, they play in the Central, which that division is always wide open every single year. It flip-flops between who wins it. And as for the World Junior Hockey Tournament, we get underway. Boxing Day, Canada taking on the Czechs. They'll follow that up, back-to-back games. They play Latvia the next night. And, hey, this year's team led by Mark and Dale Hunter trying to avoid a 5th-place finish. They've lost in the quarters each of the last 2 years. Bob, Canada's got to be better this time. And we've got a couple of locals to cheer on as we get forward to medal contention.
Well, we got Liam Greentree with the Windsor Spitfires. Who do you guys got?
So Sam O'Reilly of the London Knights was at training camp for them. Cam Reed from nearby here, a local guy, Jet Luchenko, a Londoner on the team last year as well. So we'll see what happens there. But I think, for Windsor fans, you guys have always hated Mark and Dale Hunter for sure. But this time you got to cheer for them.
This is one reason to love them, right? So, hey, love to hate them, but they're still, great coaches, and that's why they're at that level.
Well, Bob, it's been an awesome 2025 for sports, and it's great to see you back handling sports full time. I love doing it again. It's been a long time since we've had these segments.
Are you not happy?
Yeah, it's been.
Isn't it great that we're back? This is awesome.
It's been a great 2025. Thanks, Bob.